Hello, hello, hello. This is time again to return to this mansion in the game, the house in Fata Morgana. I'm glad to see you again, my viewers. It depends that you watch online on stream or on demand when you have time. And let's continue. Part 3. In general, it's for me. Part 13th? 13th? Probably. Let's return. It's still about... It's all about this poor girl. Which part of it? Probably this. They have grown to be so beautiful. Such a wonderful fragrance. The scent of roses is so calming. I wonder why that is. Will it cause any trouble if I picked one? Wait a second. Yeah, it's from August. But it's a completely different vibe from the previous parts. Well, hello there, out for midnight stroll, are you? Quite the peculiar hobby, madam. I cannot spend as much time as I would like outside during the day, so I end up coming out at night. I apologize if I startled you. Oh, no, not at all. There is a chilling, captivating beauty to the sight of your snow-white form standing there in the moonlight garden. I would hardly... what are you doing out so late? I saw a figure through the windows. On the side chance it might be a burglar, I thought in my responsibility to ensure that they did not break in. It was also the middle of the night when the grocery servant broke into their safe. News of that spread quite far. I'm sure you wouldn't have heard about it. But Jamash was imprisoned some time ago. And dear me, can it seem to get my head out of the past? Do you intend to give that white rose to someone? That white rose? Yes. I was thinking about giving it to my husband. While expected, he has little fondness for such feminine tastes. The scent of flowers has a truly calming effect. He might find it relaxing when he need a reprieve from his work. Oh, is this so? Are you very kind-hearted? Speaking of white roses, the rose he means to give you was the same shade of white. Hey? But when you touch it, it turned a deep shade of red. It's from a different time. You poor time-traveled mate. Not time-traveled, she's just eternal. Yeah. There was but a single white rose in the garden, so he was unable to give it to you as he had wished. In its place, he had a decorative rose fashioned for you. What exactly are you referring to? Oh dear, do you not remember? Then I to assume you have forgotten what happened to the rose accessory as well. He was unable to give that to you either. But the time because you rejected the gift. I am not criticizing you for the decision, of course. You had a perfectly good reason for not accepting it. Heartbroken for having lost you, he buried the rose in this garden. Over the year, the roses in the garden withered away, and in their place grew a thick, unsightly nest of weeds. Many years later, the accessory was dug up by a beast. and curiously enough, it had not a speck of rust on it. A beast? You do not remember him either. The foreign man who, though his interaction with you, almost regained his humanity. I am sorry? I have no idea what you speak of. The only gift I have ever received from a man in my this word again. Fenneck's will, yeah. And furthermore, I have only lived in this mansion for a year. While the garden was not as thriving as it is now, it was certainly not in ruin when I arrived. Because I have been taking care of it, yes. But for whatever reason, by my hands alone I was unable to make it into anything quite as splendid as it is now. Once you arrived and began to work on it, however, just look around, you have restored it to its former glory, to the magnificent of the flaxen-haired family's time. I promise I am not trying to fault you for anything. Now that I think about it, it makes sense you will not remember. Though you are still you are different than before. Different? Though not in the sense you are the wholly distant person. Tell me, is your name... again. My name is... Yes, but you should already know that. Again? More proof than you are, indeed you. Did you know that your current name is pronounced the same as the name of the person you are waiting for? What are you talking about? I have met you many times, and I know of your past, of events that transpired a long ago. I'm telling you the truth. I first came to this mansion just a year ago. Until then, I had never left my country or even set foot out of my own house. We did not have any servants either. So where then are you saying we met? This mansion, of course. But I am telling the truth. It was a year ago, shortly after my parents fell ill and received an offer for my marriage. I knew something had to be done. I knew it, and so I'm telling the truth. If that is what you remember, then I do not doubt you. But I also suspect I know why you seemed so flustered. Are there moments where your memories seem hazy? When it seems like important details have fallen through the cracks? You needn't fret. One day, eventually, you shall remember all. One day. Yeah, for a white-haired girl, it was a really strange dialogue. What is this crazy woman said to me right now? It's so strange and odd. What the hell is this? A white rose? Did she leave this here? A flower? What does she think she's doing? Is she trying to aggravate me? The garden. The damn rose garden is the whole problem. Flowers sense no purpose but no deceit. That garden is a sign of weakness. It has no place in this house. Oh, what a pleasant guy. So kind, so supportive. Man of the dream. The man of the dream. Approximately a week had passed since then. The white-haired girl was as usual spending her time in her room reading, staying inside the house. Then Maria barged in. Madam! Oh my, you are out of breath. What happened? What happened is we have a big problem. The garden, the rose garden. The garden? All the roses you put so much love and care into growing are being chopped down. We'll lose them all if we don't hurry. Upon hearing the news, the white-haired girl dashed from her room and over the garden, with Marie following her close behind. When she arrived, she saw a dozen or so sweaty, ragged men at work, Jacopa shouting orders. The men clearly had no concept of how much a single rose was worth, no concern whatsoever for their beauty. For they mercilessly, thoughtlessly hacked away as the shrubs like they were not by weeds. Each flower they tore from the earth extinguished another on the many lives the white-haired girl had put so much time and effort into tending for. Jacob, what are you? Oh, hello, Marie. I didn't expect you wouldn't come with her. Why would you do? Why? Why this without saying? This house has no need of a garden. Damn flowers have no place here. Might as well do something worthwhile with the soil. A miniature old road would be a better use of the space and certainly a great deal easier on the eyes. I could even get my hands on some genuine wheels. The same wheels being used on the revolutionary transcontinental railroad. 10 or 20 years down the line, they'll be worth a fortune. Jacopa, you know how much this garden meant to me, don't you? Did it honestly have no place here? Flowers have a calming effect on people. They give you peace. They are not by any means worthless. So you were saying that the white rose was your passive-aggressive way of telling me to calm down? Not at all, I simply thought you... At the end of the day, you are just using them for your own purposes, to trick and deceive. To you, this rose garden word was nothing but... Jacopa, you're gone too far, this is right. Gone too far, this is my mansion. What I do with my property is my business. With that rose arch out of the picture, we'll have a much better view. There won't be anything blocking the sun any longer. Weren't you supposed to be sensitive to sunlight? Spend too much time out there and you're liable to fall ill. Get back inside now, you too, Maria. He just a jerk. The poor fiend, though she did not say a word, was surely thinking, you truly did determine to rob me or my sanctuary? The word twirled around her head, unable to make the final journey to her lips. She stood there, looking down at her own feet as her husband marched off, and listened to the screams of the rose being reaped. After being torn down by Jacob, the garden reverted to a state of ruined desolation. A shame, after all the work that went into restoring the beauty it had under the flaxen-haired family. And as Jacoba had said, in its place went scraps of metal train wheels, prototype models, carbon rods. These items may have had value for him, but I certainly do not think it was worth robbing his wife of a place that made her feel comfortable just so he could store them there. Besides, I was rather fond of the rose garden myself. The rose seems to evoke a sense of nostalgia in me. I felt as though somewhere far beyond the age of my memories I had seen another garden of rose modest, though in many have been. But I cannot remember when it was. Does that come as a surprise to you? I am quite sure there are periods of the mansion's history of which I am not aware. But in any case, Jacoba had caused many people great pain in order to repurpose that garden for himself. Yet he continued to walk all over his wife. Whenever she tried to do something kind of him, he would brush her off, saying that's not your place. He paid no mind whatsoever to the looks of dejection that rose to her face each time he rejected her. I was beginning to wonder if anything she had said about the man he had been a year earlier was actually true. And if it was true, could a person really go through such a drastic change of heart in such a short time? And probably right now I have an idea what can be the ending of this game in some ways. I don't know why in this particular moment, but it can be like I think right now. But let's try to figure it out together. What do you think, Master? I know I have spoken enough about me already. I seem to be talking a lot about myself this time, but it's hardly appropriate behavior for a mate. Now let us return to our tale. I don't know, but this music, some kind of annoying for me. It's jazzy, and I like jazz, but I don't know. This gibberish really just kind of annoys me. That evening, the white-haired girl sat in her room, staring sorrowfully at her. Thananikis will. A small mirror before her, she tried spinning the paper disc. But it was just not the same as before. Her husband was not there at her side, and even more critically, there was not a smile on her face. And then she heard a faint knock on her door. Who is it? It's me, madame, it's me. May I come in? Oh, Maria. Of course, come in. What are you doing here at this time of night? Haha, was just wondering how you were doing. Should I have left you alone? Oh, it's not trouble at all. I am always glad to have you. You're making me blush, madam. I get the feeling you were a little down in the dumps. So I'm not here because I need to be. I just kinda ended up here, I guess. Maria? Sorry, I'm not making any sense. I can be a bit of a busy body, you know. Troubled with boundaries, I guess. Never be able to fix that. No, I don't consider you intrusive at all. I can and could have many times. Your bright smiley cheerful energy have shone a light on me when things were dark. If I didn't have you, I would have given up already. You seem to see right through me. Even now you are exactly right. I am feeling a little dispirited. That garden was an even bigger life raft than I thought. Perhaps I am being overly dramatic, but the roses were almost like children to me. I get it, I do. You put your heart and soul into tending that garden. It was obvious how much you loved them. Of course, it's gonna hurt watching a bunch of men stomps all over your flowers when you cared for them like your own children. Now, no. Now, I know I said this once already, but you don't need to force yourself to put up with him, really. You don't have to bend to his will just because you're a woman. You can survive without him. Anytime you want to walk away, that's your choice. I mean, I'm sure be lonely if you left, madam. I'd sure be lonely if you left, madam. But your happiness is more important than any of that. So, you know. Thank you, Maria. I truly do appreciate it. But I wouldn't still like to wait for the day I can see his warm smile once more. If you say so. Well, in that case, guess I'll just have to be there to back you up. It'd be alright. You leave everything to this Holy Virgin. I'll have a stupid grin on my face no matter what down you're feeling. You really are the reincarnated of the Mother of God, aren't you? Oh, you all told you, isn't it? It's just a joke. Whatever. So hey, madam, how about a dance? Huh? A dance? At this time of night? Yeah, and since it's late, no loud music. All you get is a little courtesy of me. Whistling courtesy of me. But this room is too small for. We'll use the Great Hall. Wouldn't that put us in everyone else's way? He wouldn't probably complain about the noise too. No need to worry. Jacob is out inspecting some factory or something today. After that, he's got a meeting, so he'll be staying the night elsewhere. The rest of the music are in their room chatting away. No one's noticed. Where I come from, we dance all night. We eat, drink, and be merry to heart. No food or drink for us, but we absolutely can dance. Dancing's a great way to forget all your cares. I am not much of a dancer. No big deal, nobody's watching. Come on, put on a little fancy perfume and let's have some fun. I don't have any perfume though. Didn't think so. You've got all the right ingredients, madam, but you don't try to make anything special out of them. You've got so much potential, but not even a decent-sized wardrobe. At the very least, you should wear some perfume. Which is why, ta-da, I brought some with me. The maids are in love with this stuff. It's a big hit with women all over the country. The base is vanilla and it's got several other fragments mixed in. Give it a try, it smells divine. But Maria, I'll... Come on, what the harm? Just a little splash on your wrist, like so. What do I think? You were right, it smells wonderful. Doesn't it? So you like it? Yes, very much so. Excellent. Now off we go to the Great Hall. Are we really going to dance? You bet we are. It's not healthy to haul up in your room all day. I know you can handle a lot of sunlight, but you've still gotta have some fun and move your body. Come on, let's go. Oh, Maria. Let's have a party. Your own party. Though she looked outwardly uncertain as Maria led her forward, hand around her wrist, the white-haired girl seems to be enjoying herself on the inside. Having spent her life without a single friend, she never dreamed the day would come when she would find herself being dragged through the empty halls of a dark mansion by another woman. Maria's presence seems to shine a light upon the quiet corridor. It would have been a very lonely trek without her. Maria spun around, gave an impish smirk, and raised her pointed finger to her lips with a soft shh. The sight of it caused the white-haired girl to chuckle quietly. The two of them on the way to their secret private ball were like two adolescent girls. In short order, they arrived at the Great Hall. My heart was pounding all the way here. What there be nervous about? It's not like you're breaking any rules. Only kids get in trouble for staying up late. Once you're grown up, you're responsible for yourself. I will say, though, that it seems rather odd for the women to dance together. Oh, it's not you're having a good time? Oh, what does it matter what between your legs? Where I come from, there's no doubt that families lock arms in a big ring and go around in circles. So who says two girls can't have some fun together? I imagine you had many good memories with your family. Well, I don't have a family anymore. What? Alright, so I'll show you how it's done. Watch carefully, cause you are up next. Huh? Oh, okay. With a wide grin on her face, Maria began whistling softly and prancing across the floor with an energetic rhythm. It was not the kind of complicated dance you've seen in fancy parties. The motion were simple, flowing, unembellished. A folk dance, I suppose you might call it. She seems to be improvising a little bit as well. But in any event, the white-haired girl was captivated. Despite it being a sequence of steps anyone could replicate, Maria breathed life into the dance. She was neither as little as an acrobat nor as light on her feet as a professional dancer. She was her own lively, beautiful self. Maria twirled in place, the skirt of her maid uniform ballowing gently up around her. With a smile, she extended her hand toward the white-haired girl. She hesitated for the moment, but being pulled forward by some invisible force, she took Maria's hand, and in hand Maria ushered the white-haired girl into her dance. It was just the two of them, but you could almost see the crowd forming around them, the other people stepping up to join in. That's it, madam, doing great. Now lift your legs good and spin like so. This is not easy, Maria. I'm having trouble following along. You can do it. Looking good so far. You are a natural, madam. Oh, Maria, I won't fall for your flattery. I mean it. The whispers of the two girls, the muffled laugh, step, hop, step, step, the rustling of fabric, many different soft sounds layered atop one another, creating a little bubble of happiness in the center of the hall. The white-haired girl movement for a great deal clumsier than Maria, but Maria will never disparage her for that. On the contrary, she showered her with praise. As flustered as the white-haired girl appeared, I imagined she was quite pleased. Before long, the tightness in her face muscles loosened, a smile spread across her lips, and she began to brighten up. See, what I'll tell you, fun, huh? Yes, I'm quite surprised. Both of them can dance, and I enjoy doing this so much. Haha, glad to hear it. They exchanged looks and both laughed. That might have been the first time I had ever seen the white-haired girl so delighted. However, because of her infirmity, they quickly found herself out of the breath. Her porcelain skin flashed red. Maria immediately stopped for a break. She could surely have continued the answer for some time yet, but Maria was conscientious of the white-haired girl's physical condition. She looked over at Maria regretfully. My apologies if only I had more stamina. I'm hardly a suitable partner for you, Maria. Sure you are. This is all to cheer you up, madame. So as long as you're having fun, nothing else matters. And heck, I'm enjoying myself into too. What I think wouldn't be nice to do this again sometime. Whatever you're feeling down, let's dance. If you really do enjoy dancing with a frail girl like me, then I would be glad to. Have a little more confidence in you, madam. You are so pretty and kind-hearted. I have lots of fun when I'm with you, so you don't need to be so hard on yourself, got it? Thank you. The pleasure is mine. I'm absolutely honored to have the rare opportunity to see such a bright smile on your face, madam. My apologies for keeping you out so late. I should get back to my room. Oh, I didn't even realize the time it was. I'm more than up for a little more gum flapping. You haven't proved my mood more than adequately. I would not want you to be tired for work tomorrow. Oh, okay. Well then, let's get out of here. Yes, let's. Smiles on both of their faces, there when they exit the great hall. Sorry for my neighbor. Create a noise in the late hour. Smiles on both of their faces, they made to exit the great hall. However, before they reached the door, it swung open. A man towering shadow cast the two women into darkness. He could his cold, bitter glare affixed on them. If I'd had even the faintest premonition that might happen, I would have done anything in my power to stop the two cheery girls on their way to the hall. But I am eternally powerless. What are you doing? Standing before them in the door was the master of the house, Jacopo. Huh? I thought you would not be back until tomorrow. And how would you know that? No, forget it. This is my stay in the night elsewhere have any effect on you? You were just waiting for this opportunity, weren't you? No, what did I possibly want to out of the house for? What would I possibly want you out of the house for? I'm sure you know better than anyone. What? What is that smell? Perfume? When did you get perfume? And I have to say, you seem to be having quite a time. Look at you, you are out of breath, red as a beard. I made the right decision coming back. What the hell were you doing? No, I wasn't going. Jacopa, calm down, seriously. You shot it. Now you are talking this tram site. I have told you before, you are not to leave this house without first consulting me. Or do you mean to tell me you are forgotten? God, your ears aren't just for snow. Alright, the show. Alright, they're better than that. They'll even though out of the part you didn't wanna hear. No, I swear I was not doing anything you... Silence, I have no interest in your excuses. You are always watching from the shadows, observing, trying not to step on anyone's toes. He just awful. And in the back of your mind, you're mocking me. No, Listen up and listen good. You're just stepping out of line again. You just tried disgracing me again. You will not get away with it. For the love of God. Get back to your room now, you too, Maria. All right. God, what is this sickeningly sweet smell? How utterly infuriating. It'll take forever to get this off me. I always thought you had at least some sense of taste. Perfect husband for this poor girl. Why did he have to disparage her so? What did she do wrong? What did she do to deserve that? She did nothing whatsoever wrong. She deserved none of the ridicule he showered her with. However, she was not a strong-willed woman. She did not have the courage to retort to the man yelling at her. And neither did Maria, it seemed. Without another word, they both scrambled out of the great hall away from Jacopa. The white-haired girl was a painfully miserable sight to behold. The cheer had drained from her spirit, and the rosy from her now pale cheeks. She was hunched forward slightly, looking like a small, scared animal. Such a pity. Say, I'm sorry, this is all my fault. If I hadn't asked you to dance, and me bringing the perfume only made things worse. No, you need to feel bad about anything, Maria. Everything you did was with my best interest at heart. So, don't worry. I will be fine. So, madam, I'll clear everything up. I really am to blame after all. He wouldn't even give you the time of day if you tried. He's a stubborn little shit when he mad. I'll talk to him, he's more likely to listen to me. I'll make sure he knows he just jump into conclusions that I am the one who dragged you out there to dance. And also that I forced you to wear the perfume. I'll clear everything up, okay? So please you cheer up. It would be best if I could tell him myself, but yes, you are right. He wouldn't not listen to me. He rarely ever listens to me. I should be ashamed. I cannot even hold a simple conversation with my own husband. These things happen, you know. These things happens, you know. It's not easy being married, in a lot of ways. Yes, you're right. I apologize for having you do something so pleasant, but I would appreciate it. Oh no problems, I'm happy to. No need to apologize, I've got this. I'll dunk his head in cold water until he's not blowing steam from his ears anymore. I'll cool him down, promise. And you never know, maybe he'll be open to listening. You could be back to the way you were a year ago in no time. Don't you worry, I'll take care of it, madam. Be positive, you'll look so much better with a smile on your face. All right. Thank you. I doubt that Jacopo would listen even comment from Maria, and I imagine the white-haired girl felt much the same way. However, she grabbed onto that sliver of hope. She let herself dream. She let herself believe, even just faintly, that everything will go well. Such is human nature. When uncertainty has you in its clutches, you grasp at whatever hope you can find to keep yourself afloat. That night, she did not sleep. She was afraid that even in her dreams Jacopo would be shouting at her. She felt as though her memories of a year prior were beginning to crumble away. This sounds just like that. But it's better, probably, this. At least these creepy, childish laughs. The next morning, Jacopo stood alone in the den by the billiard table. He appeared to be rather agitated. His face was twisted into a frown, his pointed finger tapping restlessly against the hard surface of the table. Evidently no longer able to stay in one place, he paced a circle around the table, then swept up a rap and a cue, setting up a game of 9-ball. I am not intimately familiar with the ways by which men entertain themselves, but then sure I was bewitched by the sight of him leaning over the table. It almost seems as though steel rods ran straight from his shoulders to the tip of his outstretched finger, upon which the cue was secured by another finger looped over it. With a smooth, flowing motion, he thrust the cue forward slightly, pulling it back, and repeated the process once more, before ramming it into the cue ball, sending it rolling into the diamond of colored ball. Earlier, I kind of practiced in billiard, and it was pretty pleasant time spending for me, because in my area there wasn't many different ways of time spending with entertainment like that. So yeah, billiard for sometimes was a really interesting and kind of a new experience for me and my friends. But probably I don't play in this game for how many? 5 years at least, maybe even 10, 8. It's not matter. It doesn't matter. Horrors of clicks and clacks emanated from the center of the room. Balls collided with one another and ricocheted off of the cushioned walls, a few landing in the pockets situated around the edge of the table. Jacob appeared to have accomplished this with little trouble, but I imagine merely striking the cue ball with the stick would be rather difficult for someone inexperienced. But despite his accomplishment, it seems to only exacerbate his agitation. Lose the position, he muttered, though I hadn't the faintest idea what he was talking about. What should have been a game for his enjoyment, he went about with the constant look of exasperation. I suspect he was using it as a way to blow off steam. As a result, the tension in the air was palpable, palpable. I felt it would be improper to intrude upon him, even considering my distaste for the man. There was an undeniable beauty in every motion he made, every perfectly audible clack of billiards ball bouncing off one another. It was an exchange inside. But then someone without the slightest regard of appreciation for beauty came marching in with a hammer to shatter it like glass. Gotta say that it was pretty impressive. A man leaning against the frame of the wall door was neither a resident nor a worker of the mansion. The man's face was covered in a scraggly stubble, his body draped in cream-caked garment. His eyes were sunken so deep it was as though I was looking at a fleshless skull, though there was a feral glimmer in them. Needless to say, he was not prim and proper. How long have you been there? Not long, but man, I can't help laughing. You were completely in your own world there. What do you want? And why didn't you send a maid for me? Don't be such a hard ass. We ain't stranger, man. Well, shouldn't family have to go through the maids to see you? That just isn't right, brother. Your doors should always be open for family. Enough. I am not your family. We are bound by something even stronger than blood. By own family, our Koska. Don't you only ever bring up the Koska when it's in your interest? Oh, scary. Come on now, what happened to you, little Jack? Where'd the little boy who used to call me Uncle Tommy go? Don't you dare use that godforsaken name. Get the hell out of my sight. What in God's name are you doing here? The men's hailed from the same country as Jacob. They had a peculiar relationship, though they were not blood related. He referred to Jacob as family. They came from a sunny island in the Mediterranean Sea, a place of many unique customs and entire underground society. Ah, Sicily, probably. Koska was a word in granite from the reference to those underworld families. Koska. It will be another 30 of years before organizations like theirs received much public attention. At the time, they were not widely known. Just a short step into the future and they will grow so powerful the very mention of them will send the chill through the room. Hey now, that's no way to talk to a fellow Berzetti. It sounds really interesting. Berzetti. You are on the short list to become the next Kappa Familia. Familia? We respect our brothers. That's how we operate. I could go home and go through me out your house. How do you like those rumors to spread? The soon-to-be Kappa Familia wouldn't even listen to a little request? I very much doubt that anything you said could damage my reputation. I ain't been exiled yet, and long as I'm still one of them, they won't ignore me. Oh, that's some mighty fine-looking whiskey you got there. I don't mind if I do. Nothing here is for you to drink. Booze is my lifeblood, man. No love for a brother? You worthless leech. It surely won't be long before you find yourself in exile. If you are lucky enough to get off the hook with just exile, that is. A child could snap that scrawny neck of yours. If I'm gonna go, I'd rather to tied up, tortured for days, covered in tiny little cuts from head to toe. You sick bastard, you disgust me. Call me a carnal adventurer. I despise the mundane. Last thing I wanted to go out like a wet fart. Is this what you're came for, to waste my time with your insipid nonsense? Oh, hardly. Surely you have an idea what I'm here for, and how much I need. You damned maggot. A worthless leech, a sick bastard, and a damned maggot. What other names you got up your sleeve for me? You son of a... do you honestly think this is how you are asked for a favor? Whoops, excuse me. I beg of thee. Oh, estimate future capafamilia. I'm bone broke, and not even enough money to put bread on the table. Cold you spare a little for a brother. You brought this on yourself, I'm sure. I hear more than enough stories about ye, and hardly any of them pleasant. Drinking, gambling, debauchery. I'm humiliated to be in the same cask as you. You wanna make money playing, you gotta learn the game first. Says the worm who played himself into oblivion. Now, do you honestly believe that I'll give you anything? Oh, but you will. You get no choice. Casca rules, you are requested to help a fellow countryman, especially considering how few of us that are stranded on this colossal landmass. You won't even notice the money missing. It ain't because you can't, but because you don't wanna. But Jacob, being a tight ass does nothing for you. Me coming to you for help neeps your good name clean. That's the thing about being boss. You quietly keep little shits like me out of trouble, so that trouble don't came raining back on you. You do not seem to understand your place. Rather than lecturing me, you should be on your hands and knees begging and crying for my help. If that's what you want, I'm gladly comply. Happy to kiss your boots while I'm at it. Don't even think about it. Know this, there's won't be a second time. I will be reporting your conduct to the family back home. I look forward to seeing how they deal with you. Haha, just try to have a little mercy, would ya? Hey, is there a maid around? It doesn't matter who. How may I serve you, master? Get a single stack from the safe. Here's the key. It goes without saying, but don't touch anything else. Give the money to that man as you are escorting him out the door. As you wish. Is that all you needed? Yes, now get to it. Very well, excuse me. Well, that's one looker of a maid you got there. But there's something, I don't know, eerie, strange about her. Fancy that we agree on something. How long she been working here? Couldn't tell you. As I recall, she came with the house. Is that the kind of woman you fancy? A gal you cannot read will always be interesting. Is that so? Now, what he mentioned it, how old is that woman? Though I suppose it not much matter. Oh yeah, Jacopo. One other thing I want to talk to you about. What is it this time? And if it's more of your blather, I will shoot your dead where you stand. No need for threats. This one about your better half was about my wife. Well, to put it simply, yeah. She came to me asking for advice, looking a little distressed. My wife asked you for advice? Yep. She probably even don't know who you are, Tommaso. Yeah, from the sound of it, you're pretty rough on the little lady. The gist ain't right, man. You managed to snag yourself a bro that pretty. You ought to treat her at least a little better, you hear? She looks good with a smile. You gotta make her show it to you every once in a while. Why wouldn't she come to you about it? Don't ask me, maybe she ain't got no one else to talk to. And you know, for whatever it's worth, I am a part of of the same Costco. Guessing she thought I'll get him through to you easier. Maybe it was Maria, not his wife. Really, you just have to put a little more thought into how you act around her, and she'll be smiling for you like always. Oh yeah, I've got just the thing. You won't love this stuff. I'm sure she'll be thrilled. Is that perfume? Haven't you heard everyone talking about it? I'm a big fan of the stuff too, smells great. Pretty girl smiles at you wearing some of these, any man be in love in an instant. You've never given her nothing fashionable before, have you? May look like just scented water, but you can't let them fool you. Go on, give it to her. You like a nice smelling lady too, don't you? Little bit of the scent can give a different flavor on your nighttime experience. Vanilla? Well, I've said my piece, so I'll be taking my leave. Don't want to keep your mate waiting too long and get on her bedside. Hold on, Tommaso. Why would she? Make it last. That's all the advice your Uncle Tommy has for you. Ciao. Wait, Tommaso. Probably he will be pissed. Another strike for poor girl. I could go after him. It wouldn't be a simple task to catch him, grab him by the neck, make him tell me where he spoke with her, and what she told him. But why will my legs no move? Asking him for advice, fashionable perfume, her smile. She looks good with the smile, she'll be smiling for you like always. That can't be. She hardly even smiled around me. But she'll smile for him? Last night, when she was short of breath, having such a great time wearing that perfume, getting ready to leave the house, just who was that smile for? God damn it. Don't you think I'll let you run free any longer? It's another misunderstanding. His eyebrows were furrowed, creating deep creases on his forehead. Several servants stood off to the side, watching their master attentively as he stomped past them down the corridor. However, no one said a word to him. Had I not been preoccupied attending to his countryman, I likely could have prevented it. The look on his face would have made it obvious something bad was about to happen, something that would serve only to further his misfortune. Again. She was already in less than ideal situation, and it was perched on the edge of a hill, soon to begin rolling down into even worse territory. Jacopa? What's the matter? If you wanted to visit, you couldn't have said something rather than coming in without knocking. Is that really necessary? Pardon? Oh. You look like a vampire. Is there something you so desperately want to keep from me that I must knock before entering, that I should have to let you know in advance that I'm coming? What? What are you? Well, is there? You went to talk to him behind my back, I'm told. What you tell him? You moan to him about my behavior? He's a monster. That's hurt. You told him I'm rough with you. You cried on his shoulder because I'm not nice enough. Him, of all people. Wait, Jacopa. You're mistaken, let me... Silence, not a word, not a single God-forsaken word. The only thing that comes out of your mouth is excuses, lies and fabrication. You put on this sweet innocent little girl act, but there's a really gone through your head. Maybe I should just rip that mask off your face. Stop, Jacob. You look down at me. You're not nobility. And I'm just a nobody who married into it. Now stop, let go of me, please. When did it start? How long have you been seeing him? Who else have you been seeing? Covering yourself in fashionable perfume and smiling even though you never smile around me. Please let me go. I can see it in your eyes. You're just a worthless commoner. Why would you think that? Why would you not listen to me? Silence is all your fault, every last thing. I'll tell you not to leave the house, but you do. I'll tell you to do as I say, but you ignore me. Every last thing you do drives me mad. I don't have time right now to deal with this, to rack my mind over you over a woman. I don't have time for it. Why don't you not do it as I say? Do you not have enough already, huh? Will you not be satisfied until you've been taking even my arms and legs? I've given your money, clothes and everything. You had an incredible life. Look around you, that's life a luxury you and your parents wanted. It's right here, you have it. What's more could it possibly want? Why do you insist on being unfaithful? Faithful? You think that what I am doing is unfaithful to you? How else should I describe it? You leave your room despite my orders you not to. Don't think I don't know? When you came to the den of the other day, you had your eyes on the other man. No, I did not. I had not such inclination. Enough, not another word from you. I have no interest in your excuses. If that's how you are gonna act, then say goodbye to your freedom. You're forbidden from leaving the mansion on your room, or your room for that matter, or even speaking to the servants. Oh, I know that I'll make you a new room. Too many people come in and out of this one. It'll be somewhere quieter, out of the way. You like the garden. How about I put it there? You now live in the room without my permission. This time, I kill you. Why? Why will you not listen to me? Jacob, the master of the house, likely loved the white-haired girl. Loved? This is what I saw in their exchange. Normally, love is supposed to be sweet, warm, wonderful emotion. It makes you care for, value that person even more than yourself. But it was the exact opposite for him. I never knew that love could be such a painful thing. How did his love end up so twisted? What did he expect to happen by confiding and abusing the woman he loved? Perhaps he was conscious of that. To be human, is to sometimes find oneself driven by uncomfortable internal impulses. A few days later, Jacob dragged the white-haired girl from her chamber and led her outside. The garden she had once loved was now a thing of the past. It had become a dreary space. An area rose inside, and being taken there did nothing to improve her mood, only sadden her further. The cold grey piles of metal freckling the barren earth seems to mock her. Her husband led her, the lady of the house, to a shed that had been repurposed into a Spartan living area. She begged and pleaded, but Jacob would not have it. She shoved her into the sad little shack and locked the door. It's a sad story, definitely. And this is the perfect opportunity to stop for today and call it a day. Probably. So, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.